And then not only that, boy, did I kick the hornet's nest, King of Lampoons, with our coverage of Stoneddad and the Dank Crew. And brings me no joy to say this, but boy, did I get a lot wrong.
Shocking.
So I want to address some of that in a nutshell. And I don't want to rehash a lot of the stuff that I said, but I will go back and correct the things that I said that were wrong. May even get an apology out of me. You know what I mean? But to make a retraction like this, that's the ethical thing to do. That falls within the Culture Cheese code of ethics. So I do want to get into that and clear some of that up. That was a wild ride. So we did a video on this guy, Stoneddad, the leader, the alleged leader of the Dank Crew.
Yeah, so I listened to most of that.
Yeah.
Didn't pick up on why does he call himself Stoneddad?
Oh, come on, man. I'll put 2 and 2 together.
Is that a weed reference?
Okay. Can we start the recording over and just pretend that you didn't ask that question?
I feel like it's a valid question, man.
I'm almost hesitant to even say anything because, you know, I might get something wrong again and I'll have to do more retractions. I'd like this to be the last retraction I have to make. But yeah, we did a rather long form deep dive on this guy, Stoneddad. He saw it. He started commenting on it on the video within about 5 minutes of it being up. And then he left some more comments. So I think he was commenting in real time as he was watching it. About 20 minutes later, approximately, he commented again, "Hey, I'm going live." So I jumped on to his live stream to watch. And he just kind of started immediately defending himself against things that I had said, defending himself against things that weren't said about him. And also just started kind of defending himself against things that weren't really my point. The point of the whole thing really was the climactic ending towards the end of the video, which I wouldn't know if he made it that far or not. But yeah, so I couldn't get on to his stream at the time, but he was letting me have it. And poor Karen, he was laying into Karen. Then later on that evening, he went live again. I was unable to get on. They were live for a little while discussing the video Karen and I did last week. I got online, jumped right into the chat. They sent me the link. I went on, and it was like me and I don't know, four, maybe 5 other people, none of whom were particularly glad to see me, which is understandable. And but I was like, hey, if I'm going to do a long form video on somebody, and then I've got the opportunity to have this guy confront me and ask me questions or clear the air on things that I got wrong, I should at least do that for him, which I did. So you watched enough to know that this was kind of like about his music, his AI music and stuff, even though that really wasn't what I was building up to.
Right.
Yeah, I said some things regarding his music that I claimed, and I truly believed this at the time, were 100% AI generated. Meaning, from front to back, he put into the, hey, make me a song about this. The AI spit out a song, and he says, hey, here's a song I wrote. Went on to Stoneddad's stream, and he told me, "Lo, I wrote those lyrics." He said, "Those lyrics in those songs that you heard were mine." Said that he's a writer. Said that he's been a writer since he was a teenager. And I'm listening to him, and I believed him. You know what I mean? I was convinced that it was all 100% AI. So basically, he writes the lyrics to songs, enters them into the AI. The AI makes a song. Obviously, it's not his voice, but they're his lyrics. And you know what? So look, I take that back. That was a mistake on my part. And I'm quite frankly, like, why do I care? You know what I mean? If this guy's a writer and he wants to enter his songs. He's not a musician by his own admission. What the hell do I care if this guy is just making songs and having a good time and that's his form of expression? What am I here to why even make a big deal of that? Even though that really wasn't my point. I did make claims that he was the head of the AI Music Underbelly. And I think that was this guy takes everything so literally. Like, he was really defending himself. Like, I'm not the head of the AI Music Underbelly. Like, just no sense of hyperbole. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, as if there's a thing. Like, it's the AI Music Underbelly.
Yeah. But, I mean, he just takes everything so literally. At one point, I asked him, I said, hey, so let me ask you something. Because these guys, like, when I jumped into the chat, the entire conversation seemed to revolve around poor Karen from Philly and her gender. So that was kind of around the point that I jumped on. And these guys, not Stoneddad specifically, but other members of the Dank crew, some of whom we might be getting into a little later. Just saying. But like I said, because Karen was a hell of a lot more fair than I was. There were certain things that she said that that didn't sit well with him. Like at one point, she asked if Stoneddad was actually AI. But I had been playing this video for about 3 seconds when she asked this, and I mean, he just got hung up on certain things that I had said that were kind of tongue in cheek. But like at the same time, like I don't know, like people are like, I guess a troll in his chat one time must have been like, "Oh, you probably live in a cardboard box." Well, this guy's like showing his house on the stream, like, "See, I don't live in a cardboard box. I live in a house." Well, I don't think anyone truly thought that you resided inside a cardboard box. So I got on. I got on, and at one point I had an opportunity to speak, and I was a little off my game because I was getting questions at me from. So I didn't even really get to my point. At one point in the stream, I was like, you know what, Stoneddad, there was something I wanted to ask you about, and it slipped my mind. It kind of just, I had just lost my train of thought, my culture train of thought, and then I forgot to even bring it up. So that's my own dumbass fault. But I asked him, I said, just as this is an example of him taking I was like, so why even attack Karen like that? I don't get that. Why you attacked her instead of me? Whoa. First of all, I did not attack her. Okay. She was not harmed in any way. She has no bruises. I'm like, I don't mean like you called a drone and missile strike on her. Like, just the figure of speech. But so there was a lot of that, just taking things real literally. So, but I want to clear that up. This guy went on record. He's like, I don't claim to be a musician. I don't claim to be an artist. Guy writes and puts his thoughts to the AI and makes music. Whatever, man. You know what I mean? Live and let live. So I've come around on that.
Still makes garbage, just a different kind of garbage than what you initially.
But it's not garbage. Like the lyrics are good, but I thought that they were AI generated, so like it was not impressive to me. Like I could go on AI and say, "Hey, make a song about the King of Lampoons," and I could make a song, making you sound ridiculous if I want. The AI is going to come up with choruses and verses, and who knows, maybe even a refrain and a guitar solo if I wanted it to. But I can't really take credit for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's what I thought he was doing. I no longer believe that. And I've come around. I was doing a lot of carrying on about AI music in general. And that was one of the things they were kind of drilling me about was like, well, what's your problem with AI music and blah, blah, blah. The truth is, I don't really give a fuck. But so there's that. So I want to reel that back. That's a retraction right there. I stand corrected, and I want to go on record as saying that I got that completely wrong. This is a guy, like I said, he's just writing lyrics, putting them to music, and more power to him. That's actually, in a way, kind of cool. I've made AI music before, and I didn't put nearly as much effort into. So any AI music I'm going to create, comparative to his is going to be far more superior for that reason, because it's actually his words, his thoughts. And that's what he was claiming all along. At the time, I wasn't buying it. But I was convinced I was right. So I want to wheel that back. I want to walk that back. I also made comments. And look, I didn't feel good about this. Because I was making comments about he was doing a lot of sniffing. Okay. He's at work. There's a lot of like background noises and stuff. He's sniffing, he's spitting. And so, of course, I'm pointing it out. I'm making jabs about that. Because I'm like, this guy's live streaming. Like, what's with all these noises and stuff? So when he got me on the stream, he called me out on that. And he's like, look, or maybe it was a different stream before, not the one that I was on. I don't really remember. There was a lot going on. But he's like, yeah, I do sniff. He's like, I work. He works at a coal-powered electrical plant, which he also, sniff. Well, he also was defending himself against claims that neither Karen nor I made about his job. Like we were making fun of his job and his profession, which we were not. So there was really nothing for me to even defend there other than just say like, look, I didn't say that. That's kind of putting words in my mouth. But whatever. I mean, I'm sure that he was defending himself against like 20 different things, some of which we did say, some of which we didn't. But he said, he's like, yeah, I work at a coal plant out in the coal yard. When you breathe that stuff in, it's going to get into your nose. It's going to get into your beard. It's kind of going to get into your throat. Man, look, man, I felt like a dick. I did not realize that this was a byproduct of where he worked, Yeah. But whatever, man. This guy's at work doing his thing. And had I known that this is a byproduct of working in that type of condition, I wouldn't have said anything. So I'd like to apologize here. But their big gotcha moment when I did get on the stream, because these other guys they kept asking about Karen from Philly. And I said, so you try to tell me that's a she? And I said, yeah. You telling me that's a woman? This is not Stoneddad. This is a different guy. Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he kept kind of like interrogating me about this stuff. And then at one point, when I was talking to Stoneddad said like, well, I could tell that you two obviously went way back. You guys obviously had a rapport with one another the way you were talking. I said, oh, yeah. I was like, I've known Karen a long time. I said, I've known Karen back when she was Danny. This guy, whoa, what'd you say? So I repeated it. And that was like the big gotcha moment, like that I had admitted that it was that Karen is a transgender woman, which I didn't realize was up for debate. I thought that was clear as day. And, I'm like, well, yeah. But, and it was kind of like they got us. The cat was out of the bag. So you're telling me that she used to have a dick? Like, well, yeah, man, what the fuck do you think? But I didn't realize that there had been a whole discussion beforehand. But when I joined about Karen, so I watched back the part of the stream before I joined, and they were speculating on Karen's gender and is this a man? One of them said like it looks like to me like a man who is transitioning into a woman. Well, that guy's right on the money. I don't think this is a big secret. I mean, Karen is very open about everything. It's not for me to talk about because I don't even really know everything about her journey. I even asked Stoneddad. I was like, so what was your issue so much with Karen? And he said something along like because I was like, is it just the fact that she's trans, or I don't remember exactly how the question went. I don't want to say anything, misquote anything, because the guy takes everything so literal. But he just said, look, my beliefs, I believe in two genders. That's my belief. And you know what? I've always said this. People think the whole world is like the way it is when they look out their window. You know what I mean? That goes both ways. Stoneddad, me, you. I think that's what the issue with social media, why people are always fighting on social media, because they all think that the whole world is kind of like the world that they live in, but it's not. There's different, you go to, here in the United States, you go to different parts of the country, vastly different than other parts. So their culture out there is different from ours. So I wasn't even really trying to change his mind on transview, but it did make me wonder if Karen came on and was nothing but complimentary about Stoneddad and had only good things to say, would there be this much vitriol towards her? But whatever. I'm not trying to change anybody's mind about that. Did make mention about this dank crew that I was saying was like an underground AI music Illuminati type cult. And he said, no, it's not what we are. We're just a group of guys. He said the purpose of this channel is mental health. I said, look, I watched about 3 hours of you, and nothing that I saw spoke to that. Just saying. He said, well, the videos that you watched were probably the worst 2 videos as an introduction to Stoneddad. That's fair.
Okay. Is it fair? I mean, if you're going to claim that your whole video is about mental health, and then you have one Stussy talking shit, is that really? Can you claim
that was my point? Yeah.
Can you claim that your whole channel is about mental health? Like, I mean, even if you got like 2 outliers, you can't really claim that your whole channel is about mental health.
Yeah, I was watching a video. I was watching a video. He spent over an hour addressing one troll that was in his chat. So anyway, that happened. The next day, he went streaming live. I jumped into his chat, and not in a hostile way. Say what I want onto his chat. I was like, you know what? I could come in hot. We could have it out. We could start fighting, or I could just come in, be chill, be cool, take my lickings, let these guys say whatever they want to me, and boy, did they let me have it. I did notice a total change. It was way different stream, way different vibe than what I had watched prior. And look, I'm not claiming that I had anything to do with it. Maybe I did. Maybe he felt like, oh, this guy's back watching me. Maybe I need to watch what I say. I hope not. I want this guy to just do his own thing. Look, I'm not going to mess with this guy anymore. I'm not saying I'm not going to be into his chat because I'm kind of sucked into this whole thing now, man. I'm kind of addicted to Stoneddad and the Dank Crew streams. But you know what? Just as an observer from now on, I'm just going to observe. But that's really what this channel is just stuff that myself or even the King of Lampoons consumes during the week that I find interesting, and then I want to share. Lots of times I'm sharing it to people via the King of Lampoons because he doesn't know what this stuff is. Most people don't. It's not like families are sitting down on a Sunday evening to watch the latest Stoneddad like it's like DTF St. Louis. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it's, I'm trying to turn people onto this, but I want to do it as accurately as I can. There's going to be a lot of hyperbole. There's going to be a lot of antics and showmanship. But hey, shout outs to Stoneddad and the Dank Crew. But this was the point that I wanted to address on his stream. I'm going to kind of address it now. No need to rehash stuff. I don't want this to go in a negative direction. But look, Stoneddad, just be careful out there, man. Be safe. And he knows what I'm referring to. I guess same goes for these other 2 guys that I was talking about, a dude named Mud Daddy and a guy named Nuggy. Neither of whom I really give a shit about. But at the same time, to those guys, be safe too, because, your own safety and the safety of others, just keep that in mind. I'd like to see that change if you guys change anything. Do you know what I'm referring to? I don't even know if you made it that far into the video.
I don't know what you're referring to, but I just want to say that, again, you can't really claim to be a mental health channel when you got dudes named Mud Daddy and what's the other guy's name?
Well, look, that's just their monikers. You know what I mean?
Okay, but I'd be like,
how can we claim to be making a positive difference in the culture with a guy named the King of Lampoons? That doesn't speak to pushing the culture forward. Speaks to a guy that's going to lampoon things.
And I am. I don't know. But I mean, if you're getting mental health advice from a guy named Mudbone or Mud Daddy or whatever the hell his name is,
yeah,
That doesn't sound
this
like
guy, this guy had no, this guy had no advice. I kind of think he fancies himself as a funny guy. He was not. Listen, I wouldn't mind getting myself a membership into this dank crew, maybe working my way up the ranks a little bit. And he's the first to go. Let's start chopping some of this dead weight around here. Now this guy Stoneddad, also he claimed he's like he made it out like we're some big, crew of underground AI music. Like hey, look, I'm just a normal guy, and I just got a small crew of guys. Sounded very similar to any footage I've ever seen of like a mafia boss, like in court or being interviewed. Like, hey, I'm just a businessman,
Yeah.
Yeah. I own a deli down the road. I'm just there's no such thing as the mafia. Sounded very much like that. And I'll tell you what, it's structured very similar to a mafia. I think Nuggy and Mud Daddy appear to be high-ranking lieutenants. Now that being said, because again, he takes everything so literal, I don't mean to say that you guys are any type of actual mafia. And I'll go even further to say that I don't think these guys are committing any crimes whatsoever. So really not a very good mafia if you think about it.
And then you got people like Stacy. Stussy.
I met Stussy. I got to speak to Stussy. It was a big thrill.
You still taking Stussy on that date? Hell no, my daddy gonna drop her ass right the fuck off in the ocean. She swim with the fishes.
Swimming with the fishes. That's a quote from The Godfather, a movie about what? Mafia.
Oh boy.
Just saying.
Oh boy.
I'm just saying. Let me skip ahead. Something here. This is some of the
Who is he?
Huh?
Who's he addressing in this video?
Someone named Stussy, some woman that bothers everybody in the chat. They had her on the stream for maybe about 5 minutes. They were lampooning her. I even got a little bit of a lampoon in too. I got a big laugh from Stussy and some other members of the dank crew. Hey man, that's not any small feat when you go in there and everyone's already against you and you get a laugh out of these people. I'm charming, man. When I go on these things, charm the pants off these people. Not literally. I don't want Stoneddad making a video. My pants were on the whole time. He didn't charm the pants off me. Yeah, I got to talk to Stussy. But let me skip ahead. So here's the whole dank crew. Now tell me this. Tell me this doesn't look like the bulletin board at the FBI office, AI music division, where they've got the
attached to it,
the pictures thumbtacked to the wall, and there's Stoneddad up top. To his right, we've got Mud Daddy, and then below that's Nuggy, and this is a panel discussion. So this is this is Nuggy's contribution. He's going to tell a story.
Kind of
yeah. I made a comment that once I work my way into this this hierarchy here, and I'm hoping to reach the level of maybe not right-hand man, but maybe consigliere, the advisor to the Don, to the Godfather, Stoneddad.
Yeah.
And I had made mention of getting rid of some of this dead weight. This Mud Daddy guy, he's the first to go. And then this guy Nuggy, who we're watching now, I'll play the rest of his story. You got to hear this story. But I'm thinking we keep him around because, in the mafia, they've got what's known as Muscle, the enforcer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think this guy would make a good thug. Just look at, he's kind of an imposing looking figure. I don't know what he looks like when he's standing up. He's, driving a car right now. But got kind of an enforcer type look about him.
So, driving a car is always the best time to do this kind of thing, but
yeah.
That.
So I'm not saying that this is like like the straight up mafia. Like I'm looking at this picture of Stoneddad here. I'd have no way of telling if this guy is 100% Italian or Sicilian or not, but that's one of the requisites to be in the mafia. You got to be 100% Italian.
Yeah.
So look, I mean, you know, I'm not going to ask this guy to submit a DNA test or anything like that, but let's get back to the story. Later that evening, I guess he watched a lot more of it, if not all of it. I don't know. But he went on stream. This is before his buddies all showed up, and he was just kind of sitting there. To me, it looked like a guy, you know, like the video had an effect on him. Yeah. And for me, seeing that, it did not make me feel good. I didn't feel like this was some sort of victory. In fact, I just felt bad. Like this, you're very Gen Z-ish, whereas you prefer short form content, Instagram Reels, stuff like that. I'm a long form guy. You know what I mean? I see a video that's 3.5 hours long, and there's a picture of Stoneddad. Hey, I'm gonna watch all 3.5 hours, probably twice. I've always been like that. And then I examine, I critique, I try to make social commentary. And really, my only main point is just be careful out there. You know what I mean? And I'll just leave it at that. It's in the other video. I don't want to even bring it up. If anyone's seen the video or Stoneddad knows what I'm talking about, it's more so just some unsafe practices that I saw that you know, unsafe to others and himself. I don't want to see any of these guys get hurt or anybody get hurt. So just
I have no idea.
Well, that's because you didn't watch it to the end like I asked you to. So you don't even know what the fuck we're talking about.
I don't know the end part. I don't know the part that you're talking about right now. So, I mean, if you
want
to
go watch it. No, I don't. Well, I want to show it to you, man. Just bring it up on your own phone, on your own YouTube.
All right, man.
So, look, I'm going to clip this, and I'm going to attach it to the original video as a follow-up and a retraction. I think that's fair. You know what I mean? But hey, man, shout outs to Stoneddad. I like the guy. That is not tongue in cheek.
What's going on there? I have a trespasser sitting on my porch who doesn't want to leave. No. Male, female? I don't know.
I don't know.
That's what I said.
I had a similar conversation the other night on the Stoneddad stream, but I don't know. Is it a male or female? Well, look, I made my retraction. I even apologized. I'd like to give the floor to the King of Lampoons for a moment if he would like to apologize as well.
What would I apologize for?
I don't know, man. You're part of Culture Cheese, so I just, I apologize.
I wasn't there, so I'm not apologizing for anything.
Hey, fine. I'll tell you what, you don't see these issues of solidarity within the ranks of the Dank crew. That's all I'm saying. Those guys are all for one and one for all. Yeah. And hey, Stoneddad, I'm just fucking with you, man. I don't think you're in the damn mafia. I hope that this actually gave you a little bit of a laugh. Everybody, be good.
They're escalating this shit!